Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by lynda.com.
Today on Variant, I talk about the alternate versions of Flash. Welcome to Variant, we love comics more than I'm excited to talk about some Scarlet Speedsters. I'm your host, Arris Quinones. Before I talk about today's episode, I want to remind you guys I will be doing a meet and greet October 3rd in Dallas at the Lost Toys from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you want to come hang out with me and talk about comics, Star Wars, toys, whatever, I will be there those hours, maybe even a little longer. I will also be giving away some free Variant t-shirts. It's also the grand opening and there will be lots of cosplayers, comic trivia contests, and of course, awesome vintage toys and new toys. I put the address and all the details in the description below, so come hang out. I'm friendly, I promise. Also, starting next week, Villains will be taking over Variant for the entire month of October leading up to Halloween. We'll be covering some of our favorite psychopaths and their craziest stories, as well as a few surprises. We'll also be headed to New York Comic Con October 8th through 11th, where we'll be periscoping and tweeting some of the best panels, events, and news. We might even do a special coverage episode while we're there. Put it all together and it's gonna be a wicked month. See what I did there? But as for today's episode, people have been watching the show for a while know I do alternate versions of character episodes. I've already done one for Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man. And since Flash Season 2 is kicking off very soon, I figured this was the perfect time to talk about all the different versions of Flash. There have been a ton of different versions of Flash over the years, so as always, I'm clearly not going to be able to talk about every single last one. So I didn't forget to mention certain Flashes, I just couldn't fit every single rendition of Flash in. But fear not, I mentioned quite a few of them, so let's get into it. I'm going to kick this off by talking about the current, most popular, and the main Flash in the DC Universe proper, Barry Allen. Barry Allen was the second person to become Flash, and is the character that is considered to have kicked off the Silver Age of comic books, which gave us Barry Allen, Hal Jordan, and so on. As mostly everyone knows by now, forensic scientist Barry Allen became the Flash after being dosed in chemicals and then being struck by lightning. This event granted him the gift of super speed, which of course led him to become the Flash, the fastest man alive. Barry Allen is also the Flash that is responsible for creating the Speed Force. Max Mercury discovered that Barry generates it with every step that he runs. But if you want more detail on that, watch my History of Speed Force episode. Going backwards, we have the first Flash from the golden age of comic books, Jay Garrick. His full name is Jason Peter Garrick. He was a founding member of the Justice Society of America. Garrick has also served as a mentor to other speedsters and to many heroes over several generations. It was Jay Garrick's legendary heroics that inspired Barry Allen. Currently, Jay Garrick resides on Earth 2 as that world's version of the Flash. Then we have my second favorite Flash, Wally West. Barry is my number one, just so you guys know. Wally West was the original superhero known as Kid Flash and the third character known as the Flash. His mentor was the second Flash, Barry Allen, who took him on as a sidekick after accidentally duplicating an experiment that had given him powers. Arris West, his aunt, is married to Barry. He was also a founding member of the Teen Titans. In the New 52, Wally West was introduced as half-black on his mother's side. He is caught by Barry spray painting a wall and crossing out a Flash symbol. And of course, he eventually ends up becoming a speedster. Then we have Bart Allen. He was the original character known as Impulse, the second Kid Flash and the fourth Flash. His grandfather is Barry Allen, and he was originally born in the 30th century as a descendant of the Allen family. He traveled back to our time and became a member of the Flash family. In the New 52, Bart is Kid Flash and part of the Teen Titans. But keeping this Flash train moving, we have Kingdom Come Flash, aka Wally West from Earth 22. In the American Midwest, Wally West was a man of good moral character and he received speed powers through some unknown means. With these, he served as a hero for many years, calling himself the Flash. Prior to his transformation, Wally had a daughter, Arris West II. She inherited the Speed Force and became Earth 22's Kid Flash. We also have John Fox, aka Future Flash. John Fox is a 27th century physicist. His travels through time have made him into the Future Flash in the 853rd century. There's JSA Liberty Files Flash, or Jason Garrick from Earth 40. After getting the ability to move at superhuman speeds, Jay Garrick became Mercury and served the American government along with other masked heroes during the Second World War. Then you have a Flash who has a pretty cool and different costume, Elseworld's finest Flash. On a world where Barbara Gordon became Gotham's protector and Kara Zor-El was the last survivor of Krypton, Wonder Woman leads the world's premier superhero team, the Justice Society. It is unclear whether the Justice Society's Flash is Barry Allen, Wally West, or someone else. Nonetheless, I like the Flash costume. The Amalgam Universe, which mashes up DC and Marvel characters, would bring us Blaze Allen, aka Speed Demon, from Earth 9602. There's actually 3 different Speed Demons. They're all a combination of different versions of Ghost Rider, the Flash, and Etrigan, which is pretty cool mixtures, I think. And even though the design of the character is very 90s, I still like it. I mean, look at that cover. It's really cool. In the dimensional reality known as Earth 9, Flash is an elite fashion model and actress named Leah Nelson. She adopted superhuman speed and control through yet unrevealed events. Leah Nelson is the second most recognized person on that planet next to the Atom and Superman. Moving along yet again, we have the Black Flash. Putting this short and sweet, the Black Flash essentially fulfills the same role as Death for those who possess super speed in the DC universe, returning them to the source of their powers, the Speed Force. It has been seen before the deaths of Barry Allen and Johnny Quick. Max Mercury, having had several near-death experiences, has also seen Black Flash. Now, with all these different Flashes I've mentioned already, you might be saying, well, has Flash ever had a lantern power ring? And it's funny you ask, because yes, he has. During Blackest Night, Barry Allen was chosen to be a Blue Lantern. Now, Flash is already one of the most powerful characters in the entire DC universe, so imagine him having a Blue Lantern power ring of hope on top of that. But guess what? I'm gonna one-up that. He also became a White Lantern. You know, the lantern that has all the lantern cores in one. No big deal. In The Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is the sequel story to The Dark Knight Returns, Batman began training a small army and has begun collecting old allies. Barry Allen was found locked in a machine powering most of the eastern seaboard. Batman freed him and Barry was given a new costume. Together, Batman and his allies prepare for a revolution. On Earth 10, the Nazis won World War II and conquered the world. Their superpowered champions were picked by Hitler himself, which is an extremely scary thought. He picked a Superman, a Wonder Woman, a Hawkman, a Hawkwoman, and a Flash. This Nazi speedster is unnamed, but his costume resembles that of the Reverse Flash, with the insignia using 2 twin lightning bolts. There's also a Flash on Earth 11 who is much like the normal mainstream Flash, except gender swapped. Then of course we have Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thawne. Eobard's costume is very similar to Barry's, except it's a reversed color scheme. Reverse Flash created his own Speed Force the same way Barry created the normal Speed Force, by duplicating the incident that granted the latter his powers. Professor Zoom was able to create his own negative Speed Force by generating it through kinetic energy. Reverse Flash is one of my all-time favorite villains. He's also Barry's arch nemesis because amongst other things, he killed Barry's mother. I think that alone serves as a good cause for being an arch enemy. But I don't think I have to tell you guys much about him because I already did a history of episode on him. So you can watch that if you want to know more about him. I put the link in the description. Next is a pretty cool version of Flash, or Kid Flash rather. It's a Western themed Flash from Earth 18. Kid Flash was a quick draw artist with super speed powers in the Old West, who joined up with the Sheriff Prince Diana and the Justice Riders to help defeat supervillain Maxwell Lord. There's also a Bizarro Flash, the Bizarro World version of the Flash. He's a sad and overweight version of the character that instead of running, flies. Weird, I know, but hey, he's the Bizarro version. What do you expect? You have Johnny Quick, who's an evil doppelganger of the Flash from Earth 3. He's a member of the Crime Syndicate, a team of supervillains paralleling the Justice League. And the last Flash I'm going to mention is a Flash from a title and game we all love. Well, I think most of us love. And that would be the Injustice Flash from Injustice Gods Among Us. In the Injustice universe, the Flash joined Superman's One Earth government because he believed in it. He told Shazam that it made sense at first and did so to protect Arris, but he later has some serious doubts about his decision. Clearly there's a lot more to it, but I think you guys get the point. And that'll do it for my list of alternate versions of the Flash. Clearly I didn't mention every single Flash ever, but I think I did mention a good amount. I do have some honorable mentions though. They're not necessarily Flashes, but they're speedsters nonetheless, so I figured I'd at least say their names. Like Jesse Quick, Max Mercury, Inertia, and Johnny Quick. The good one, not the evil one from Earth 3. Lynda.com is an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach software, creative, and business skills. Memberships start at $25 per month and provides an unlimited 24/7 access to top quality video courses taught by expert instructors with real-world experience. Learn anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace, from bite-sized tutorials to comprehensive courses in web design, programming design, photography, business, audio and video, 3D, and animation. And you can learn on the go with their optimized mobile site or free iPhone and iPad app for members. Try Lynda.com for free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/variants and get some knowledge into your brain. First up for Wednesday, September 30th, we have X-Men 92 issue 4. In this issue, Professor X comes face to face with the X-Sentinel. Here we have Justice League issue 44, Darkseid versus Anti-Monitor, a corrupt Superman versus Lex Luthor, and Marina Black versus Grail. This issue has everything. And finally, we have Batman Annual issue 4. Batman is gone, but Bruce Wayne is still alive. What does that mean for Gotham City? And who is Bruce Wayne without Batman? And that'll do it for another episode of Variant. But remember, you can always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow Variant on Twitter at Variant Comics or my face on Twitter at Arris_Quinones. But I'll see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics. Flash on Earth 11, who is much like the normal mainstream steampunk guys. Remind you guys, I will be doing a meet and greet.